Good morning everyone. Lesson 2, motion in one dimension. Today we will start. In lesson 1 you have learned what are physical quantities. Quantities which we can measure are called the physical quantities. So there are two broad categories of physical quantities: scalar quantities and vector quantities. So let's see what is scalar quantities. These are the physical quantities which are expressed only by their magnitude. So they are known as a scalar quantities. For example, mass, distance, work, speed, volume, etc. We need two parameters to express scalar quantities. One is the unit, second is a numerical value. For example, suppose mass is equal to 10 kg. So 10 is your numerical value and kg is your unit. That means it completes its meaning. Second is vector quantities. Vector quantities requires magnitude as well as direction to express. Then they complete their meanings. So this is called vector quantities. For example, displacement, velocity, force, movement, weight, temperature gradient, impulse. These are the example for the vector quantities. To express the vector quantities, we need three parameters. One is unit, numerical value and direction. So let's take the example of displacement. Suppose the displacement is 10 meter toward east. So 10 is your numerical value, meter is your unit and east means direction. If you don't write the direction, then the meaning is incomplete. It completes the meaning when you write the unit, numerical value and direction. Then the displacement is a vector quantity with complete meaning. Now rest and motion. Next topic. Rest means when the body does not change its position with respect to the surrounding, the body is said to be at rest. And when the body changes position with respect to the surrounding, then the body is said to be in motion. Nothing is at rest. No body is at rest although. Now, let's take the example. Our earth moves around the sun. So everything is in the state of motion. And we know that nothing is at rest. Now let's see how rest and motion are related to each other. For that, let's consider an example. If we are sitting on a railway platform and look at nearby tree, we say that the tree is at rest. Clear? Because it is not changing its position with respect to us. But when we see a train leaving the station, we say that train is in motion with respect to us. So this way the rest and motion are related to each other. So rest means if the body does not change its position with respect to immediate surrounding, while if the body changes position with respect to immediate surrounding, then it is motion. Now next topic, one-dimensional motion. When the body moves along a straight line path, then the motion is said to be one-dimensional. Suppose a car is moving in a long and straight road. A stone is falling from the top of the roof in a straight line, then it is also called one-dimensional motion. Now how will you represent the one-dimensional motion? To represent one-dimensional motion, let us consider an example. Suppose the position of pebble is measured from its starting position, falling freely vertically downward at different instants. So let's see, when the time was 0, the particle displaces only 0. That means initial position was 0. After 1 second, the particle reaches to 5 meter Then after 2 seconds, the particle covers 20 meter. After 3 seconds, the particle cover 45 meter. After 4 seconds, now the particle covers 80 meter. So this is the way to represent a body moving in a one-dimensional motion by a x-axis line. Next topic, distance and displacement. These are the two quantities. One is a scalar and other one is your displacement is your vector quantities. So distance means the length of the path traveled by a body. That means how much path covered by the body. That is called the distance. It is scalar quantity. That means it only needs unit and numerical value to express. And it's complete its sense. Its SI unit is meter. CGS unit is centimeter. Now displacement. Displacement means shortest distance from the initial to the final position of body. That means, suppose let's take an example. A body is moving from A point to B, B to C. So AB plus BC will be the distance covered by the body, and displacement will be shortest distance from the initial to the final position. So this is your displacement. Displacement is a vector quantity. To express displacement, we will write S, and on the top we will put an arrow so that it is a vector quantity. SI unit is meter. CGS unit of displacement is centimeter. One more difference between distance and displacement. Distance is always positive. Displacement can be positive and negative. Distance may not be zero even if displacement is zero. For displacement, if distance is zero, then the displacement will be zero. Next, if displacement is not equal to zero, distance cannot be zero. For displacement, if displacement is zero, then it is not necessary for the distance to be zero. Last difference, distance will always be greater than or equal to displacement. But for displacement will be always less than or equal to distance. Let's see the examples for when displacement is zero, then distance is not zero. First example, body moves in circular path. Suppose a body is moving in a circular path from point A and come back to the point A. Then the distance will be circumference, path covered, that is 2 pi r. Displacement will be zero. Why? Because the body has started from point A and it has come back to the same point. So the distance between shortest distance between the initial and final position is 0. Second example, body thrown vertically upward h meter and come back to same point on the ground. Suppose the body is thrown from A point, it goes up h meter and then come back. So distance will be 2h. Displacement will be 0 because this is your initial point and then this is only your final point. So shortest distance is 0. Example, body initially at O position moves 4 km east, 3 km north. Then the distance covered by the body is OA plus AB. That means 3 plus 4. That is 7 km is the distance covered by the body. Displacement, shortest distance between initial and final position. So by Pythagoras theorem, this you will take it out 5 km. So displacement will be 5 kilometer. If you see these two values, the distance is greater than displacement. Distance is 7 kilometer and displacement is 5 kilometer. So these are the some examples related to the displacement and distance topic. Next topic is speed. Speed is defined as distance traveled by a body in unit time. Formula for the speed is equal to distance upon time. The speed is written with small v, distance is written with s, time is written with t symbol. So v is equal to s upon t. Now SI unit of speed is equal to unit of distance upon unit of time. Unit of distance is meter, unit of time is speed. So the SI unit is meter per second. CGS unit of speed is equal to centimeter per second. Fast moving object like train, speed is expressed in kilometer per hour. Now numericals related to speed topic. Calculate the speed of an object if it covers a distance of 15 meters in 15 seconds. Distance is 15 meter, time is 15 seconds. We have to find the speed. So first of all, we will write the given quantities. Distance is given to us 15 meter. Time is given to us 15 seconds. So we have to find the speed. Formula for the speed is equal to distance upon time. And we will write down in symbol v is equal to s upon t. Now we will substitute the value distance 15 meter, time 15 second. Cancel it. It will go by 1. So the speed is 1 meter per second. So v is equal to 1 meter per second. This is the way we will do the numerical related to the speed topic. Acceleration. Acceleration is defined as rate of change of velocity with time. That means when a body is moving, its velocity is changing with respect to the time. That means the body is accelerating. Now the expression for the acceleration is equal to change in velocity upon time interval. Unit of acceleration will be equal to unit of velocity upon unit of time. Just now we have studied the unit of velocity is meter per second. Unit of time is second. So the unit of acceleration becomes meter per second square in SI system. In CGS it will be centimeter per second square. Now we will find out the relation for acceleration or expression for the acceleration. Suppose a body is moving with initial velocity. After time t, its velocity changes to final. We have to find out the acceleration. So initial velocity is written with small u. Final velocity is written with small v. Time taken is written with t small. Acceleration is used as a small a. Now we will find out change in velocity means final velocity minus initial velocity. So final velocity is v, initial velocity is u. So change in velocity is v minus u. Now we will put the value acceleration as a equals to change in velocity v minus u time t. So this is the expression for the acceleration. A is equal to v minus u upon t. If you cross multiply, it will become at equals to v minus u. And if you take u on the left hand side, u plus at is equal to v. Therefore, the expression for velocity will become v is equal to u plus at. Now, when the acceleration is positive, acceleration will be positive when final velocity is greater than initial velocity. Acceleration will be negative when final velocity is less than the initial velocity. Acceleration is a vector quantity. That means it needs 3 parameters to define. One is the magnitude, unit, and third one is the direction. Acceleration is written with small a, and on the top we will make a arrow. Types of acceleration. First, uniform acceleration. When the body change in velocity is equal in equal time interval, the body is having a uniform acceleration. Second, variable acceleration. A body is said to be in variable acceleration when change in velocity is not same in same time interval. Next topic is acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity means when a body is falling freely under the gravity, then acceleration is known as acceleration due to gravity. The symbol used for acceleration due to gravity is small g. When the body is falling freely under the gravity, we will write plus g because it is falling towards the gravity. When the body is thrown up, then the acceleration is negative. Acceleration due to gravity is minus g because the body is moving against the gravity. So you will take minus g for the numerical when the body is thrown up, plus g when the body is freely falling under the gravity in case of the numerical.